The gospel that we will reflect on today is Mark 10, verses 35 to 45. Mark 10, verses 35 to 45, or page 157 in your missal. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Jesus and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." He replied, "What do you wish me to do for you?" They answered him, "Grant that in your glory we may sit one at your right and the other at your left." Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the cup that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism with which I am to be baptized?" They said to him, "We can." Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink you will drink, and with the baptism with which I am baptized you will be baptized. But to sit at my right or at my left is not mine to give, but it is for those to whom it has been prepared." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at James and John. Jesus summoned them and said to them, "You know that those who are recognized as rulers over the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you will be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you will be the slave of all. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." So this gospel passage is actually one of my favorite ones, because it shows the humanity of James and John. James and John, just like any of us brothers, just like Brother Manuel, just like Brother Pedro, we have our human desires. And if you have siblings or a brother, you probably can recognize what this scene is like. And James and John are probably approaching Jesus like, "Hey, John, remember it was your idea. You asked Jesus." And John's like, "No, it was your idea. What are you talking about? You ask him." And they're going back and forth, and they're probably like, "Well, wait, it wasn't even our idea. It's this mom that wants this from us." So it's this crazy scene, and they're going to ask him this crazy question. And when they finally muster up the courage, they approach him, and they say, okay, let's ask him. "Jesus, will you do whatever it is that we ask of you?" And Jesus naturally was like, "Well, what do you want?" And James and John in this moment, like, again, any brother or any of us that are approaching and asking a permission from a father is like, "Oh, we have him right where we want him." They ask him, "Can we sit at your right and at your left?" And Jesus probably just looks at them. And again, they're thinking in their mind, like, okay, this is it. You know, James and John, like, they're special to Jesus. They're probably thinking, like, man, me and you, like, we're in. Like, we're not only in, we're like in. It's like, we're the apostles, but we're the favorite 3, you know? So they're expecting, obviously, a yes answer. And Jesus just asked them a question. "Can you drink from the chalice from which I will drink? Can you be baptized with the baptism with which I will be baptized? Can you, Brother Enrique, Brother Jesus, can you be baptized? Can you drink of this cup?" And again, like good brothers, they probably look at each other and, "What do you think?" "Yeah, okay. We can." And they probably say it with confidence because, yeah, we can do it. We're willing to do it. And Jesus reminds them, "You will drink from the cup that I will drink, and you will be baptized with the baptism with which I will be baptized. But to sit at my right and at my left is not mine to give." Complete disappointment. They thought they were in. They thought they had him. This was the big moment to ask the question, And Jesus rejects them. And spoiler, we know that James and John, in the end, do have to drink from this chalice and are baptized. Brother Miguel explained to us the story of St. James and everything that he went through. We know the story of St. John, that he was exiled into an island of Patmos. We know from the book of Revelation that these were of the 12 apostles that were seated by the Lamb. They did receive their glory. But in this moment, Jesus reminds them that right when they think they're in, Jesus reminds them that they are in. They are in. Because they are his apostles. And just like the apostles' brothers, we are in as well. We're wearing cassocks. We're in a chapel at 9 o'clock at night, adoring our Lord. What a privilege we have. We are in. We're invited to be so close to him, just like these apostles are. So Jesus reminds them that they are in, but not the way that they want to be. Because to be in with Jesus is not just about making mom proud. But it's not just about that. It's about being intimate with him. It's about intimacy with him. Because what is it worth that we are here before our Lord? We're privileged to be called to follow him, to give up our whole lives. And we put up a wall between us and Jesus. We say, Jesus, you're all the way up there on the altar, and I'm here in the pew. You are Lord, and I am human. Jesus reminds us that we're in, and we're called to be intimate with him. We're called to break that wall because he's already reaching out to us. He already wants so much more. So what are the reasons? What do we want from him? In this Eucharistic hour, I invite you to go deeper into that. To go deeper into what it is to be in with our Lord, to be intimate with him. Because we have this special privilege. But this privilege is so much greater than what we believe it's for. This privilege is way beyond what we can imagine. So let us imitate Our Lady. And if you get distracted in prayer, go to her Magnificat. Because as she said, Jesus will always lift up the lowly to himself. The lowly will be exalted.